Hey, what's up? This is Low Growl, and today I'd like to talk about loneliness. There is an epidemic of lonely young men, young women, and just people in general that are very lonely. And it's kind of sad because some people, they feel helpless, they don't know what to do, and it leads to other things like depression, social anxiety, stuff like that. And being who I am, we're trying to help people out over here and give hope and help others if we can. So I thought I'd be in a more relaxing setting. I'm outside. It's nice out here. It's a little bit chilly, but I'm bundled up good enough. So I got a list of questions, and this is part one of what will probably end up being like 3 parts or something like that, because I don't want them to be too long. I want you to get in. I want you to get out. I don't want to have you sitting here feeling like you got to watch for 20 minutes. We'll see how the conversation goes. But I want to start with the first question. We're not going to delay around here. All right. So for my lonely viewers, what is one small step you feel comfortable making today to connect with someone? One small step. I'm not asking you to suddenly go to a club. I'm not asking you to go to church. I'm not asking you to go join your local bowling team or nothing like that. I'm not asking you to join a club at school or take any type of big step where you just plunging yourself into a social setting, because you may have social anxiety. You know what I mean? It's like we're going to take baby steps. So what is a small baby step you could take today to connect with someone? If I was feeling lonely and I wanted to connect with somebody, I think the first thing I would do, I would go through my phone contacts and just see who's in there and just kind of make a judgment call. Like, you know what? Kind of judge your relationship status with these people. Was I close to this person? Have I not spoken to them in months, years? Should I have deleted that number a long time ago? That kind of thing. And pick somebody and maybe just shoot them a text and see if they respond to you. That way you're not necessarily having a vocal conversation, but at least you're just putting your little toe in the water to see what may happen. If you get a response, then you could just be like, hey, I was thinking about you. We used to have some good times. You up for a phone call? And then see how they respond. If they're up for a call, give them a call. And even if you got to do some prep work before you make the phone call, do the prep work so you can have something to talk about. You know what I mean? Just your standard fare. Like, how's life been treating you? Anything interesting going on in your life right now? How's your mom? How's your dad? How's your brother? Stuff like that. And then maybe after you kind of get the temperature of how the conversation is going, like, hey, you trying to get together? Or, hey, you got Xbox? You trying to play? What games you playing? Oh man, I got that. I like that. You want to link up online sometime? We can play live or something like that. Just kind of ease your way into it. It's not. Well, it's easy for me to say. It's not too difficult, but small steps, okay? Next question. Can you tell me about a time you overcame a difficult situation and what helped you through it? So if you are depressed, if you are having social anxiety, before you got to this place in your life, it's a big possibility that you've had to deal with problems in other areas, and you found a solution. So what was that solution? How did you overcome that other difficult situation? Because if you can find some similarities, you may be able to use the same type of tactics to get beyond where you are right now. Now, the video it's about lonely people, but I think also, I'm considering now what I'm going to put on the thumbnail. But it's like, if you're lonely, if you got social anxiety, if you're going through depression, you know what I mean? This video is for all those people dealing with those different types of things. I'm not an expert, but I just want to help. So it's very beneficial a lot of times to kind of look back over your life and do a little bit of a inventory of the hardships you've been through And then you can revisit some of the tactics you use to get through hard times. Now, don't use alcohol or drugs or anything to escape the hardship. If that's what you did in the past, don't do that. Okay, that's self-destructive, and we're trying to construct confidence and a sense of self-worth and good overall well-being. You know what I'm saying? So let me think about my life. Honestly, going through a hard time, one thing I've had to do to get through a difficult situation is get somebody else's perspective, you know, whether that's a parent or a sibling or a friend you may have that, you know, or if you are active in different types of forums, like on Reddit or something like that, or say you just got a group of people that you may game with on the PC, but y'all might not talk, y'all might just text or something like that. Just get other people's perspectives and search for some answers and see how they would handle this situation, you know. But you got to get out of your own head sometimes, because when we replay it, we tend to do worst case scenarios. And even if we find something that may seem remotely feasible as a action plan, we'll start doubting ourselves and what if this and what if that. Next question. What are some activities or hobbies that make you feel more like yourself? Make you feel more like yourself. Who are you? You got to know who you are first off. You know, what do you like? What do you not like? You're not the same as when you were a little child. You've grown up some now. And I mean, I don't know who's watching this video, so it may be a broad array of people in age groups to watch this video, but let's assume that you're no longer an adolescent and you're a young adult. You're not the same person you were. The things you liked and enjoyed, the things that made you laugh and all that, all those things, even your taste in food, all of that kind of stuff can change. Being where you are in the stage of life that you're in right now, figure out what it is that you like. Figure out who you are at the core of your existence, you know? Is your sense of humor change? Like what kind of TV shows do you like? What type of movies do you like? What type of foods do you like? What type of games do you like? What type of people do you gravitate to? You know, once you figure out these type of things, then you can put together some action to seek out those type of people or activities that suit who you are now. You understand what I'm saying? That's just life. You know, an interesting thing that I heard one time that I've adopted for myself is like people get money and they move out of the hood, right? And then they see other people that come from that hood and they're like, you changed. Well, I would hope you have changed. You know what I mean? It's like if you're going through life and years are passing and you don't change, then you're doing something wrong. You don't ever want to be the same person you were a year from now or even a month from now. You want to continue to educate yourself, learn new things, add to who you are, you know, add to your value in practical ways, like expanding your mind through reading books, you know, meaningful relationships. You know, the older I've gotten, the fewer relationships I have, but I'm completely fine with it because I don't want to have to manage a bunch of people. You know, I'm cool with the 10 or so people that I will actually go and hang out with. And even then, I don't hang out often, you know, but these people that I'm talking about in my friend group, we can go a year without talking, and when we get back together, we haven't missed a beat. It's still all love. We just pick up where we left off, good conversation, laughing, and everything else, you know. So that is something you can, you know, get into your mind, like as far as feeling like who you are. You got to figure out who you are now. You got to ask yourself some questions and be honest with yourself. And it's okay to have changed, you know, embrace that change, and then find a group that suits who you are now. All right. Number 4, how do you usually feel after spending time on social media? Does it change how you want to use it? Social media, oh my God, social media is a polarizing thing a lot of times, because you look up there and it's like you got people that live through the lives of others on social media. Then you have, sometimes we develop the habit, and I'll speak from my own situation, you get lost in information overload. You'll be looking up something on one topic, find something, and it can, for example, like red pill stuff. I've looked at videos about the red pill, the black pill, sigmas, alphas, and all these different states of being that you can be. And man, it can really start to weigh on your mind and shift your thinking to a negative and dark place if you allow it to. It's like you got to make sure that you stay balanced with the intake of information. You have what all these people are saying online about different topics and stuff like that, but then you also have your reality. The reality is, I'm not running around making millions right now. I don't drive some fancy car. I'm not dealing with females that are modern women or anything. I'm not even on the dating scene. So a lot of the stuff that I was looking at and ingesting, it doesn't even apply to me. So it's kind of like you gotta take the meat and the things you can use and throw away the bones. The things that don't apply to me, I don't intake, or I don't take it in. You know, it's still good information. I think every group has their tidbits of good information, but you got to kind of shape it to your situation. Like, you know what I mean? Don't just take everybody's perspectives at face value and then just go start basing your life off of it. You go out here and say something slick to somebody, get yourself beat down or killed trying to be an alpha. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's social media. It can do a lot of damage, and I think it already has done a lot of damage to people because that's their only outlet. You know, I think it contributes to the socialization issues that a lot of people are facing, because it's just much easier to send a text or send a meme or a GIF or something through social media. It's much easier to send that than to actually interact with someone. And then just the fact that we constantly get bombarded with how, like, look at the news and stuff like that. It's always something negative. You're always at risk. The world gets painted as this dangerous place where everybody's out to get you and everything is out to get you and everybody's scamming you. And is your information safe? And don't do this. But the reality is, when you get out there and you start socializing with folks, you're going to realize that, you know, everybody doesn't have it out for me. Everybody is not out here trying to harm me, you know. But that information gets such high profile exposure that you think that's how everybody is. You know what I mean? Like, look at like wokeism and the different agendas you see pushed forth. Those are very vocal minorities a lot of times, but they get so much exposure that you think that the majority of the world is this way. And if you just go out somewhere, you know, a lot of it is just not true. And you got to be aware. You got to be aware. You got to think a little bit for yourself. Let's do number 5, and then I'll end this video. Depending on the response, that'll determine, you know, how I proceed. All right. Oh, you know what though? We can dab in that a little bit more. How do you usually feel after spending time on social media? Does it change how you want to use it? Just to get to the heart of the question, because I felt like I deviated. How do you usually feel after spending? Do you feel drained? Do you feel less than? Do you feel affirmed? Or do you feel like, I feel depressed after using social media? Like, like, is social media digging you into a deeper hole? Or do you leave it laughing and smiling and having gotten something positive out of it, you know? And if you're getting those negative effects after using social media, you might want to consider how you're using social media. What are you up there for? typically it's going to be a couple of things. It's going to be either entertainment or educational, you know, but what's the source that you're looking at? You know, whose education are you looking at? Whose educational videos are you looking at? And whose form of entertainment? Like if you're going up there looking at pranks, there's some guys, I can't think of the name of this dude, but you know, he got banned from Japan, I think, because they out there being fools. You know, it's this other guy, he was pouring buckets of paint, oil, food bits, and all these other things on people that's on the train, all for some clout. You know what I mean? It's like when you watch stuff like that, when I watch stuff like that, I'm just like, oh my God, what is the world coming to? You know, it's just like people are so desperate for some attention and some fame and some money that they losing their common sense and humanity, you know, at the expense of other people who are just going about their day, not trying to harm nobody, just trying to get home from work. And then you come up and pour this bucket of nonsense, and then you run off the train. They doing it on a train, and then they do it right when they're getting ready to pull off from a stop. Then he'll run off the thing, and the train pull off, and the guy get away. To me, if I watch that kind of stuff all day, that's going to bring me down. So consider how you're using social media and how you feel when you finish using it, and make some adjustments. Last question. It's already going a little longer than I wanted. What does a good day look like for you? How can you take a step towards that tomorrow? So what's a good day? No arguing with your parents or your siblings. Having a good day at work, you know, not having an argument at work with your coworkers or your supervisor, your manager, whoever it might be. Is it getting your workout in at the gym? Is it just having a good conversation with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or a friend, just having a good conversation to where you feel lifted up and you just end your night on a positive note? Is it a good day? It can be so many things, yet I'm drawing a blank. Could a good day just be you having a good hot meal, you know, a good dinner or something like that? Because we're all living on different levels of hardship and trial and tribulation and everything like that. So some people watching right now, they may be struggling really, really bad to eat or to clothe themselves or whatever it might be. You know, what a good day for you be not seeing your parents arguing and fighting and all that type of stuff like that. So figure out what a good day is for you, and then figure out how can I repeat this each day? Like what can I put into place to increase the chances of my day being a good one? You know, is it a change of mind? Is it a change of scenery? Is it a change of attitude? Is it a change in your, I'm going to say work ethic, but I guess your motivation to take care of your responsibilities and stuff like that, you know, feeling productive each day? Is that a part of what makes you feel like you had a good day? And take steps towards repeating it so that you can have more good days than bad. All right, this is Low Growl. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be assimilated into the Low Growl Legion right this minute. I leave you with this. Bush leaves and dumpsters, lawnmowers as the cars go by, big brutes and boomers walking around trying to destroy life chromosomes while mitochondria split in half multiple times per generation. The cohort that we see exploring GPTs, you know, and sometimes baseball bats, they strike and they hit softly. They swing fast and they hit softly. Think about this. There's a purpose behind these words. All right. This is Low Growl signing off. Y'all have a good one.